The Los Angeles Lakers' 2021-2022 playoff hopes were mercifully put to rest when their loss to the Phoenix Suns, coupled with the San Antonio Spurs beating the Denver Nuggets, officially eliminated them from play-in tournament contention. It's no secret that the Lakers came into the season with championship expectations, but the team's poor health ended up being the biggest setback that they have faced. Stay tuned while we break down exactly what went wrong for the LA Lakers last season. First things first, here's what Kyle Kuzma said about the LA Lakers loss. There's no sugarcoating the fact that failing to qualify for the play-in tournament, which would have only required about 38 wins, is a massive organizational failure from top to bottom. If one thing's clear, it's that no single person is to blame for this season. Health was a major reason why the Los Angeles Lakers were unable to repeat as champions in 2021. They were clearly battered by the time the 2021 playoffs rolled around, and they were eliminated in the first round by the Phoenix Suns. Kyle Kuzma recently claimed that if the Los Angeles Lakers had been healthy, they would have won the NBA championship in 2021. The team was strong defensively and had a lot of talent at the time, so it's easy to see why Kyle Kuzma believes they could have won it all again. We'll never know if the Los Angeles Lakers would have won in 2021 if they were fully healthy, but they might have had a much better chance of making a deep run in the playoffs if their entire roster had been at 100%. Moving on, apart from health, bad trading calls are also to blame. The Lakers changed their minds at the last minute and instead traded for Russell Westbrook, sending not only Kuzma and Harrell to the Washington Wizards, but also Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Isaiah Jackson, which had pretty significant value. The Lakers were so successful the previous two seasons in large part because they surrounded LeBron James and Anthony Davis with tough-minded defense-first players who don't mind doing all the dirty work. There's no better proof of that than the Lakers remaining the league's best defense in the second half of the 2020-21 season, despite the absence of Davis and James due to injuries. Now, the idea of putting a third star around James and Davis to help pick up some of the slack wasn't a bad one, especially given their injury histories. But not only had Westbrook been a declining player, as evidenced by the Lakers being his fourth team in as many years, but he was also not an ideal fit alongside James and Davis from the start. It's no secret that James has a lot of time with the ball, which means he should be surrounded by 3-and-D players, which is the polar opposite of what Westbrook is. It's understandable that James would want someone to take over ball-handling duties in his 19th season, but there were far less expensive options than Westbrook, who not only cost the Lakers some key players and draft capital, but also had a $44 million salary in 2021-22 and a $47 million player option in 2022-23. Now, let's add finances to the list of things that went wrong. Another issue with adding Westbrook is that where salary comes into play, it's that the Lakers were over the cap with 3 max players, leaving no cap space, forcing them to find players on minimum salaries to fill the roster. The Lakers had the ability to go over the cap to re-sign some of their own players, but they were unwilling to go further in the luxury tax to keep more players because they were already so far into it after re-signing young guard Talen Horton-Tucker. Trading for Westbrook and re-signing Horton-Tucker effectively cost the Lakers Kuzma, Caldwell-Pope, Harrell, the number 22 pick, Alex Caruso, and Dennis Schroeder. Much to Frank Vogel's frustration, the Lakers' defense had been lost. Up next, Westbrook wasn't the only one to blame. While it would be easy to place all the blame on Westbrook for failing to live up to his all-star reputation or contract this season, that would be unfair to all of the other people involved in the deal. This is where James, despite continuing to play at a high level at the age of 37, should spare some of the blame. According to all reports, Rob Pelinka was determined to compete the Hield trade, which would have provided the Lakers with a dynamic shooter while allowing them to retain key defensive backcourt players such as Caruso and Caldwell-Pope. However, before the deal was finalized, James and Davis intervened and advocated for a Westbrook trade. So there's James and Davis's share of the blame. Though Pelinka is also involved because he was the final decision maker and completed the trade. The blame on Pelinka doesn't stop there. He's also responsible for the failure of virtually all of the other offseason signings. The Lakers prioritized bringing in familiar faces who had previously played for the organization, but they clearly didn't prioritize youth, length, or energy. Moving on, we can't forget coaching when it comes to something like this. Vogel and the coaching staff get the last piece of the blame pie. It's no secret that Vogel prefers defensive-minded players, and this team wasn't built for them. However, truly great coaches can adapt their style and schemes to the roster they have rather than than the other way around. Anyone who watched the team play last season is aware that Vogel's lineup selections and rotations were far from perfect. He penciled DeAndre Jordan into his starting lineup 19 times. Even though Vogel wasn't on the court, he accepted responsibility for the players' consistent lack of effort from last season. Consistently playing hard should be the baseline for being an NBA player, but Vogel's roster failed to buy in this season. Lastly, what's the current situation with the Los Angeles Lakers? Well, there's no doubt that the LA Lakers are not a contending team right now. Despite going 5-1 in the last 6 games, the team still has some room for improvement. LeBron James recently revealed that the Los Angeles Lakers still need to improve as a team. The LA Lakers defense has improved this season under new head coach Darvin Ham, but LeBron James believes they still have work to do. In addition to the defensive improvements that the team must make, there are some offensive issues that must be addressed. It's unclear how far the Los Angeles Lakers will go this season. They have a lot of talent, but one of the biggest issues they'll have to address is the roster's relative lack of 3-PT shooting. The LA Lakers will always have a chance to advance far into the playoffs with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. The key is simply making the playoffs, and we'll see if the LA Lakers can do so. Up next, Kyle Kuzma can't stop laughing at this hilarious tweet about him and LeBron James. Kyle Kuzma absolutely loves Twitter. While he doesn't post anything particularly controversial on his account, he almost always reacts to whatever is going on around him, and whether he intends to be or not, he's hilarious in almost every post. The FIFA World Cup is now a massive soccer event, but you wouldn't think Kyle Kuzma or LeBron James had anything to do with it, would you? As it turned out, the answer is no. They do in fact have a connection to the event, and as fans pointed out, it couldn't get any bigger, which Kuzma couldn't stop laughing about. Now let's take a look at just what it was that Kuzma found so funny. According to a Twitter user, Kyle Kuzma and LeBron James are playing as players in FIFA World Cup 2022. That may seem unbelievable, but we have all the evidence you'll ever need to believe this insane reality. Yes, even deep into a professional career, the art of being a two-sport athlete. If that doesn't cement LeBron James's status as the GOAT, we're not sure what will. And it's possible that Kyle Kuzma's legacy will be boosted as well. It looks like not only does James have a pretty striking resemblance to a forward playing a prominent role in their team's quest to take home the most coveted trophy in football, but Kyle Kuzma was also compared by a fan to Brazilian forward Richarlison. Kyle at the very least resembles Richarlison more than LeBron James does Brian Mbeumo, except for the beard, which must be the primary reason James's and Mbeumo's looks are being compared in the first place. The 6'9" forward, now with the Washington Wizards, can easily pass for Richarlison, especially if he dyes his hair blonde like he did in 2020. Lastly, Michael Jordan beats LeBron James here too. When it comes to Michael Jordan, LeBron James just can't seem to win. Getting a doppelganger of his to play for Cameroon in the FIFA World Cup may have been difficult, but Michael Jordan, on the other hand, famously played 2 sports during his professional career. In fact, as this interview reveals, he could have been one of the best athletes of his generation. Could the greatest NBA player of all time have also made it to the major leagues of baseball? Michael Jordan appears to be the greatest player of all time for a reason. Well, that's a wrap for this video. So do you think the LA Lakers will manage to recover from everything they've faced these past 2 seasons? Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.